So, tell me where you're at right now. Tell me a little bit about Oceanside.
So we started out in central San Diego, and the demographic going just from San Diego to Oceanside is like night and day different. Just like the people are so much more like chill. Like in San Diego, it's like go, go, go. And not like everyone, but the large majority of people there are like there to be working or like just like young entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And so automatically that's just a more fast-paced lifestyle. When Oceanside, we're on the beach, so it's a lot of people that are either retired and are just like living their best life, or there's a lot of families that live here. People are more chill.
So one of the main nodes or hubs for Oceanside would be the Oceanside Pier, and it's actually it is the longest wooden pier in California on the West Coast. On any given day, you would find a lot of tourists. So when we would walk down the pier, we would kind of just casually stroll by, and we would talk to people, and they would be from Arizona or from wherever, and the majority are tourists. But then you find your locals, and they just like to go there after work. So the Marine base, Camp Pendleton, is pretty close, and so a lot of the Marines will come down after work and hang out by the pier and grab dinner over there by the pier in downtown. One of the things that was a surprise to me was there's a lot of homeless people on the pier. They like to camp out on the pier and hang around the pier.
So the pier is also one of the major landmarks in Oceanside. You see like postcards or tourist things like that, you'll see the pier. So we're just out here. 3 of us are serving with Life Point Church in Oceanside, and then the other 2 of us are serving with Anthem Church in Vista. And serving the community in any way that we can. So it looks like for us a lot of like service projects and like getting to build like relationships with people in the city. So yeah, a lot of it looks like this type of day, honestly, like finding a coffee shop and just like reading and trying to like spark up conversations and stuff.
So do you do like your own thing, like kind of sitting here with some numbers and stuff?
Yeah, that's why I like GenSend a lot, because it's not like people are like, oh, what are you doing for the summer? And I'll tell them I'm going to be serving in San Diego, and they're like, oh, a mission trip. And I'm like, not a mission trip, because we're trying to learn how to like live on mission. And the big part of GenSend is just like coming alongside the community and loving people, and not like shoving Jesus in their face, but like just loving them like Jesus would.
Give me your definition of evangelism or street evangelism.
Yeah. So I think over time this has gotten like pretty skewed. A lot of people think like street evangelism, you just like walk up to people and say like, this is the gospel, blah, 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 blah. But like people aren't gonna take that. Like people aren't gonna listen to that and actually like do anything with it. They're gonna be like, oh, this person ran up to me and started yelling at me, and that was not good, and like probably forget what you even were talking to them about. And so I think evangelism like obviously is sharing the gospel, but in like a loving and effective way, getting to know people and like asking them about them, and like not making it about you in any way, but like only trying to bring God glory and hearing them out and like their story and everything, and bringing the gospel back into their story.
The church culture is like so different out here, because in the South, a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, it's very like go to church on Sunday and you're kind of done for the week. You put on your show, and do the church thing, then you leave, and then, you know, whatever. The church culture in California is very family oriented. Like, when you get there, you're welcomed. They care about you as an individual. They carry your burdens. So that's been super cool. A big difference is like people are a little bit more authentic. Like, that's just the culture, maybe not just the church culture, but the culture in general. Like, if people want to talk to you, they're going to talk to you, and if they don't, they're going to walk away, and they don't care. Definitely out here, they're like, nah, bro, I'm not trying to talk, or like they are interested and they do want to talk.
So some of the common routes that people take would be the Coast Highway, which goes north and south in Oceanside. It's a very common route. It's like Main Street for any town that you would be in. There's also Oceanside Boulevard, which is the east to west road that would bring you further inland from Oceanside. These are both very common routes, especially among the locals. You also have the interstate, the 5, as they call it here, which goes north and south, and then you have the I-78, which these are all common interstates that people would take to get places faster. They also have an Oceanside Transit Center, which is where you would hop on either the buses, or you would even hop on the coaster, which runs north and south along the beach of California.
Oceanside has several kinds of districts. We are currently staying in South Oceanside. South Oceanside in and of itself is its own little district. The people from here are very prideful about being from here. They are a very close-knit community, and they all kind of stick together. A lot of local shops and stuff like that. You also have like Camp Pendleton is a part of Oceanside, so you have a lot of Marines. That's a very tight-knit community. They all hang out at the pier together, and just they're constantly together.
All right, and clap sync, 1, 2, 3. There we go, always wanted to do that. So we have been here for, well, now today is actually week 6 that we've been here, and we've kind of noticed there's different sections of Oceanside. We are currently living in South Oceanside, and right now we're in, I'd say, kind of a residential area. There's houses around where we're living, but if you take a 5-minute walk, you get to a very touristy part of the city where there's touristy shops, there's like touristy coffee shops. You can buy like San Diego postcards from all over the place. And so it's a very unique area that we're in, especially going with the kind of people in the area. As I mentioned earlier, we're in a very residential area. Just 5-minute walk, you get to a very touristy spot. But the people, specifically the people, you just have friendly people. Everyone that we've come in contact with has been extremely kind, just generous towards us. No one's like shoving us off. They all want to talk. They all are willing to engage with us as we go and talk to them. The vibe it's a very chill vibe here where people are just wanting to go to their coffee shops. They want to go surfing. They want to go skateboarding. They just want to hang out with friends. Everyone here is just looking for a good time. I think everyone here is searching for something. And if they're not in Christ, if they're not Christians, everybody here is going to be searching for something. Whether they try and find that through surfing or skateboarding or their coffee shops or their friend groups or their Friday and Saturday night activities going out to bars and stuff like that, everyone is searching for something. I think we have a really cool opportunity to just be lights in the city to help church plants continue to do ministry for those people.
The purpose of building relationships would be to just get to know the community and to show God's love to them. It's not necessarily making relationships just to tell them about Jesus. It's to show them how we love Jesus and how to love others in our daily lives. Oceanside is made up of a bunch of different people. There's lots of diversity. There's surfers, a lot of tourists here, and gangs around the area, and then biker gangs also, a lot of hipsters.
Contextualization is a big thing that we've all had to deal with coming from the South-ish to California, because we've had to adapt to a lot of new things. Contextualization is being aware of your surroundings and then adapting to be more like the surroundings and fitting in, but not changing who you are as a person, but just being aware and knowing what's going on. And it could even be as small as wearing a new shirt or just saying certain things so that people would be like, oh, they know what's up. They would be easy to talk to. I think it goes along with being approachable so that you can have better conversation with people. And then from there be able to build more intentional relationships. In the end, contextualization is really important because through that process, we can be able to reach people through Christ where they're at already.
Oceanside needs people who are strong in their faith, who are ready to be slapped in the face with a reality check. Oceanside needs laborers who aren't afraid to step out of their comfort zone to love people who don't act, look, believe, or think like them. Oceanside needs gospel-saturated people to be awakened to the spiritual, emotional, and physical needs of the city.